All right, it's 6:30 a.m. I've been up since 2:30. I got about 2 hours of sleep. And I'm back in Manhattan, Kansas. Today I'm gonna be doing the Flint Hills 50. So this is the shirt that they gave us. I just checked in and I'm gonna be going with number 31 today. This is a 50-mile race, and then there's also a marathon option. So I'll be doing the 50-miler, which is 2 25-mile loops. So it's gonna start in about half an hour. So I'm gonna get ready to go now and hit the starting line. It's gonna be a long day.
I did bring a couple of them here.
I thought Ryan wanted one. Yeah, no.
Something starts hurting, you just take another shot.
Yeah. Right on.
What'd you do for stretching?
See you on the other side. Yeah.
Just hit the gravel portion of the race, about a little under a mile and a half in. I mentioned that it was a gravel road, but it's less gravel and more dirt, and actually more mud. It's been raining the last few days, but as you can see, here are the hills. So far it's just been a lot of up and down. I imagine it's gonna be like this for most of the day. Filming us on the course.
I love it. Hello. That would be awesome though. It's painful, but it works.
All right, so I'm just about at the 5-mile mark, and just was running with a girl named Brooke that I met for a few miles, and turns out she lives like basically in my neighborhood. So she and her husband are out here running. So we're probably gonna connect and start doing some training runs at some point. So that was cool. But she went out ahead, and so I'm just cruising right now. So far, course has been, it's basically dirt road. That's basically what it is. A little bit of gravel, and it's been raining the last few days, so it's a bit muddy, but it's not like real thick mud. It's not deep. So it's actually kind of nice because it's providing a bit of cushion during this race, which is going to be nice on the knees and the hips, especially once you start getting up in the mileage. So yeah, so far so good. Just cruising, but lots of hills. So we're going to be feeling that later in the race for sure. Yeah, check out these hills. Oh man, this is going to be fun. I did a 50K out here in Manhattan about 3 weeks ago, and I noted the controlled burning. That's why all the fields out here are burnt, but that's what they do each March. You can actually see some of the burning over here and the smoke. Coming up on the first aid station, and this is right around mile number 10. Hey, how y'all doing?
What can we get for you?
Mile 10 check-in. Feeling pretty good. I got a blister on my right foot that I got during that 50K a few weeks ago, and I haven't had blisters in a few years because my feet are so calloused. And it had gone away, but it's resurfaced. So it's not giving me too much trouble now, but I'm sure later in the race it won't be a whole lot of fun. But yeah, just cruising. Coming up to an intersection right now. So right after the mile 10 aid station, you're back on paved roads. So on a 2-lane road now. I'm not sure how long this will last for before we're back on the dirt portion. But just wanted to provide an update for those of you who are watching this because they want to get familiar with the course. Back on the dirt road, the paved section was only about a mile, so on mile 11 now. All right, hanging out with my man Luke over here, who's running his first ultra.
Yeah.
His longest distance before this is 16. So this is gonna be an adventure for him. So we've been cruising for the last few miles.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right over the half marathon mark right now. All right, we got another guy out here, John.
What's up, guys?
This is his first ultra as well.
Woot woot.
So we got the 3 of us cruising right now.
Boys.
Yeah. No, it's nice to be running with some guys. Usually I'm out here like by myself, you know?
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, it's really nice. I was actually kind of worried about that. I was like, I'm gonna be all alone.
All right, coming up on the main aid station number 2. Still with my man John over
What's
here.
up?
And we're about a little under 20 miles in. Yeah, wouldn't be a Kansas Ultra without cows and or bison.
Yep. We out here.
All right, coming in right now on the end of the first loop. Still with my man John over here. Been holding down. He's got a whole crew up here with signs.
Yeah, just drive a million people.
Right there. So, yeah. Hey, what's going on, man?
There we go, enchilada supreme!
Hey, lap 1 done.
Make sure you go through this way.
All right, we just headed back out for lap 2. We're coming up right on like mile 26, so 24 left.
It's all downhill for me.
Yeah, I'm smiling and laughing now, but trust me, I ain't gonna be doing that in 20 miles from now. Just hit mile 30. John and I departed a few miles back, and I'm really starting to feel these hills. This always happens, you know, I hit mile 30 and then it's no longer fun. It just becomes painful, and then once you hit 40, it's just excruciating. So I knew this was coming, and just gonna have to ride it out for these last 20 miles. But these hills, man, these hills are brutal. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge for sure to get through these last 20, but gonna make it. So just gotta keep pushing through.
Let's go, let's keep it moving down the road. I can't discriminate because it's dusty and it's old. All that I can do is put my arm around a friend and leave it to a cigar to throw caution to the wind. Speaking of wind, those dust devils are fun to see until they start hurling tumbleweeds.
Coming into the mile 35 aid station. All right, so I'm 36 miles in. Ain't gonna lie, feeling pretty terrible, but not as bad as I was like 2 miles back. My stomach started giving me some issues, which is, you know, happens on these runs, and just wasn't feeling that great. And I came into the mile 35 aid station, ended up drinking some Coke, and that helped me out a lot, actually. One of the reasons why I like drinking soda, just like not like a 12 ounce, but like 3 to 4 ounces when I go in these aid stations, is because of carbonation. A lot of times when you're out here running, you can get kind of bloated, and by drinking carbonated beverages, it kind of forces you to belch, which decompresses your stomach and makes you feel a lot better. So did that. Stomach's feeling a whole lot better, so that's good. I got a bit of a headache. That usually happens to me though, like right once I get above that 35-mile mark. And I think it's just because of all the pounding, you know, on the ground all day. So got a bit of a headache on the left side. Legs are fatigued. Yeah, an ultra. So it's gonna be a rough next 14 miles, but I'm feeling 100% confident that I'm gonna be able to finish this thing. So that's not an issue, but it's just gonna be a painful finish, that's for sure. Just hit the 40-mile mark. I ain't gonna lie, not doing too well. These hills, man, these hills, like, I've done races with elevation change before, but usually it's like a giant hill, or like a big climb, and then you go down, and then there's some, you know, flat sections for most of the part. This race is basically no flat sections. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, constantly. Like, it's brutal. I mean, I do a lot of hill workouts, and I'll get on the treadmill, put it at 15% grade, and run up that for like 5 to 7 miles at a time. But this, man, like once you get up to like 40 miles on these hills, it's just brutal because it just doesn't stop. You know, you just look out in the distance and it's just winding hills up and down. So, man, my legs are really feeling it. So, yeah, just taking a quick walk break here. We're gonna get back at it here and try to finish this thing up. Probably do another check-in around mile 45, but it's gonna be a struggle to get through these last 10 for sure.
So, that was one of the very first life lessons I got during my run, you know?
Yeah. I'm getting some GoPro footage. Yeah, mile 47, coming up on the home stretch. So, yeah, I was dying a few miles ago, but then my buddy called me. So I say, hey, what's up?
Sympathy run.
So he's been giving me some motivation for the last few miles. So yeah, I just gotta power through these last 3. All right, just finished up the race about 20 minutes ago. Ended up actually bringing the massage gun for this one, so I've just been, you know, using that so I don't cramp up too bad on the drive home since I got a few hours to drive here. But really challenging race, very challenging race. So if you're thinking about doing your first 50 miler in Kansas rails the trails. I know I often say that it's completely flat, so that's a perfect one for your first miler. It's in Ottawa, Kansas, and then in the spring it's called the Prairie Spirit Trail Ultra, but it's the same race. This one is just hills, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but a lot of fun, super challenging. I'm so happy I came out and did this one, and I can't recommend it highly enough. The race director was phenomenal. Everything ran smoothly. Aid stations were great. Volunteers were fantastic. People were great. Met some great people out there when I was running. Just an overall fantastic experience. Highly recommended. And running these ultras is peaks and valleys mentally, and you learn that over time. And I gotta give a big shout out to a really good friend of mine, Ezra Kyer, because I was like really feeling pretty rough around mile 44, 45. Just felt horrible. I was in one of those valleys. I was just feeling awful. And he knew it, and so he gave me a call on the phone, and he talked to me all the way through the last 5 miles. And actually, he went out for a run while he was talking to me, so we're both simultaneously running. And it just served as a great distraction. And then within a mile or two, I started feeling phenomenal. Mentally, I felt great. My body felt fantastic. And I just kind of cruised to the end. And I was just smiling for the last few miles. I felt like death 5 miles beforehand. So, I mean, that's just how it is running these races. Your mind goes all over the place, and that's part of the challenge. So I got to give a big shout out to him because he really helped me turn that corner and get across the finish line. But man, just really enjoyed the super challenging experience, but a great race. So yeah, I mean, can't say anything more than that, but definitely if you got the opportunity, come out here and do this one. Oh, and real quick, forgot to show the finisher medal, which is a belt buckle. It says Flint Hills 50 on it.